Are you surprised by this?
I'm a little surprised, Skip, considering how well the Mavericks have played, and they are going home, and they're going to have 15,000 fans in a 19,000-seat arena. So they're going to have...
Watch, it'll be 19. Before all said and done, it'll be 19.
You're probably right.
There won't be a seat in the house.
You're probably right, Skip. So they're really going to have a home court advantage.
Yes.
And considering how well they played and how electric that crowd is going to be, I thought at worst case scenario maybe it'd be pick'em game or maybe the Mavericks by a point. But I guess if the Fox Bet believe that the Clippers are still the better team, and that was two anomalies, and they believe the Mavs, because if you remember, Skip, even after they lost what, 1-2? They were still favored to beat the Nuggets, and I'm like, well, hold on. 6 points, I think it was like 5 points, 4 points, 6 points. Even in Game 7, they were the overwhelming favorites because I believe the books say they're still the better team, and the better team's going to win. But with Luka doing what I don't know if the book has been watching what Luka's done to the Clippers in his games, in his 8 games of playing, Skip. I mean, 39-7-7, 31-10-11. He's 32-10-9 in his 8 games against them. He's shooting 50% from the floor, 38% from the three-point line. So I am surprised that Fox Bet decided to make the Clippers a 2-point favorite over the Mavericks. But the Clippers will come out ready to play. Ty Lue tell them we got to get the crowd out of it early because, you know, they're going to be buzzing. They're going to be electric. Ain't going to be no more cardboard cutouts, Skip. Ain't no showing Dirk Nowitzki's face and all the Maverick great players' faces. No. Those are going to be actual live fans yelling and screaming.
So I thought you'd be outraged over this, more outraged than surprised.
I'm surprised.
And all I got to say is, Lord, have mercy on the Clippers. You know what Rick Carlisle's going to do with this?
Yep.
He's going to tell his team tomorrow night before the game, you went into their building and you kicked their "We Want Dallas" tails up and down their court. And now they've come into your house and they're still favored over you by 2 points.
Right.
And they will be re-inspired to shoot 50% from 3 and to shoot my team right in its heart, right in its stomach, right in its psyche.
You go play that disrespect card. They still don't respect you.
But I get this. I've been getting it all year. I got it last year. This team is loaded. It just doesn't play loaded. This team last year in the bubble against the Denver Nuggets, every game was favored by more than your Lakers were favored in their series with the Nuggets, which came later, obviously.
Right.
So remember what happened in the bubble against the Nuggets. And again, this was with Jamal Murray and Yoke, right?
Yep.
And so the Clippers had won 3 games by 23, 6, and 11 points. And then in the next, the 3 closeout games, 5, 6, and 7, they're ahead by 16, 19, and 12 and cannot close any of those 3 deals. Well, that shows you firepower, right?
Yep.
But it shows you something is missing. I thought the something was playoff Rondo, but that has not been the case so far. I'd like to see him play more than 22 or 3 minutes a game. I'd like to see him start and finish
Actually,
the game.
Reggie Jackson and Pat Bev are playing more minutes than Rondo.
Okay, I don't get that. But the point is, in game number 1, here at Staples, they're 6.5-point favorites. That's about right to me. I get that. Game 2, they were 6-point favorites. Now at Dallas, they're 2-point favorites. I get it because they're that good. They're that deep. They're that talented.
Right.
You know it. You picked them to win the first 2 games.
I did.
And yet, Luka, as Chris Broussard often says, he just was the best player on the floor. I'm not afraid of Luka as much as all those numbers. He's going to get those. That's what he does. He has the ball in his hands a lot. He's going to get those numbers. He's going to fill that stat sheet. But if you let the rest of them all make 6 out of 8 threes like Tim Hardaway did in game number 2, you're going to lose because they were 35 of 70 from 3. They were the 18th in three-point shooting, and they made 35 of 70?
Well, so let me ask you a question. So do you let him just go one-on-one, get 40, 50 points?
That's what I would do, but you have to play defense on the rest of the guys.
Because remember skipping Portland. That's what they did to Joe. They let him get him. They could go one-on-one. He had 1 assist.
I got it. That's the only way to fly, because he's too good a passer and he's too tall of a passer. He's like Magic. He can just see, or like LeBron. They can see over everything.
He's going to see over Pat Bev. He's going to see over.
You can see it like an offensive coordinator sitting upstairs in the press box can see it. You can see who's open.
Right.
So he just goes up. He's not a leaper, but he can just go up and throw a two-handed overhead pass to whomever is open.
Right.
And if they're going to make those shots, it's like Russell said, the hard part is get the assist, because they have to close the deal for you. Well, if Hardaway's going to make 6 out of 8 and Kleber's going to make 2 out of 2 and Porzingis at 7 feet 3 inches tall is going to make 3 out of 4, you're going to lose, and you're going to lose badly.
Yes.
Okay? Because nobody's guarding the other guys. I don't know why, but I told you, I watched them close. I watched every dribble of every game. And over the last 6 weeks of the season, they played pretty good defense. They were ranked second in defensive efficiency over the last 6 weeks.
Right.
Well, what happened in games 1 and 2? Well, if they did, I don't believe they tanked. But if in the back of their minds they wanted Dallas because they thought they were easier, are they just sleepwalking? Do they think our talent will just will out? We'll just overwhelm them with our talent?
Sometimes you think that, oh, man, we better than them. They ain't got nobody but Luka. And then all of a sudden you realize you're in the fight, because the longer you go in, Skip, it's just like anything. The longer you leave somebody the line says we're 6-point favorite. Now all of a sudden we get down to the fourth quarter, Skip, and we 10 points down. Now what? Now we got to go in panic mode to try to catch up. Skip, you're going to get some production from Luke Kennard. You said he was going to be big. They paid him $16 million. You need to get more than what you got out of Marcus Morris Sr. in the first 2 games.
I mean, Luke Kennard, he didn't even play in the game.
That's my point.
Okay, I got it.
He got 2 DMPs.
Yeah, and remember, he's a 40% three-point shooter.
Yeah.
Well, they led the league in three-point shooting, and he helped.
But here's the thing, Skip. They can't play him because they're already struggling defensively. Okay. He's not a defensive guy.
No, he's not.
And you look at, they've made 33 Skip, in which they've been open to wide open. Open is Dallas has.
Yes.
6 feet and below, wide open is 6 feet and beyond.
Okay.
So 30 of those are the 35.
That's embarrassing. That just means you're not committed at all to playing on the other end of the floor.
So they're making 3-pointers that's farther than the defender is farther apart than you and I.
And what do you think Kawhi Leonard is thinking? He scored 41 points, and they lost badly again.
But, Skip, that's what should be concerning. You got 41 from Kawhi. You got 28 from Paul George. You got 69. That's what you hope for. You think, man, if we can get somewhere between 50 and 60 from our superstars, you got damn near 70, and you still lost.
Yeah, because Tim Hardaway paid 6, and they were all at just the right time.
Yes.
Every time there was a surge from the Clippers, he just said, no, sorry. And he was making deep threes, and he was shooting them with such conviction, and they weren't rattling around.
Right.
They were dead swishing.
That one, Skip, that I think you guys had cut it to 4, and Luka hit Finney Smith in the middle, and he kicked it hard
right out. That was the dagger.
That was the heartbreaker.
Hey, are they? So then Ty Lue tries to play the psychological game and say, well, can you go home and shoot like that? Well, usually you're saying that, can you go on the road and shoot like that? Well, you would think they could go home and shoot like that.
But the question,
but he's playing the last card he can play in the deck.
But
he's desperate.
Ty Lue also got to ask himself, can Kawhi have how many more 41-point games? Because we've never seen him play like this in the playoffs. So how many of these type games, Skip, can he have where he's this efficient with those kind of numbers? Paul George played well. Now, he didn't shoot the 3-ball well, but other than that, he played well. Rebounded the ball, assisted the ball, had a couple of steals. You got 69 points and a bunch of rebounds and assists from your guys, and you lost, Ty Lue. So you got to ask yourself, man, can my 2 superstars play that well again? Because you really get no other contribution. So you got to hope they play that well.
I told you game 2 was do or die, and I'm going to stand by that. And they died. And I told you they're going to show you who they were in game 2. And I think they showed you they're just not that team.
Skip, this is game 7 for them. Because I'm not so sure, Skip, if they're not mentally tough enough in the clutch situations to win game, do you believe they can win 4 straight if they fall down 0-3?
No.
I don't either.
Again, I don't think they can win 3 out of what
they got to win 4.
4 out of 5. 5. Yeah, I don't think they can do that. That's a lot. From what you've seen from Luka and company,
yes.
Can you beat them 4 out of 5 times?
And what I haven't seen from the Clippers, which is consistency.
On defense or offense.
No.
I'm not seeing the ball movement. I thought Rondo would have the ball.
Man,
moving.
Rondo was yelling at Paul George, yelling at Serge. Serge was yelling back.
Yep.
I told you it's just gonna be a matter of time, Rondo. Like, man, I see why you guys don't listen. Y'all head hard.
Yet the odds makers' heads are hard too, because they're just sitting back saying, "You guys are just better.
Yeah,
you're just better."
They're trying to get some of their money back, Skip.
Is that what it is?
They're trying to get some of their money back. Yeah.
Maybe.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.